Bradshaw. Would you compare him to Kevin White, Alex?
I wouldn't put that label on him because I do think he's better than Kevin. So, I mean, Ohio State receiver, you could essentially end the evaluation and the analysis there because that coaching and what they do with wide receivers at Ohio State is awesome.
I don't give a damn how young he is. We are not leaving out Patrick Mahomes. You're the young goat.
Right.
The young goat. What's good, YouTube? What's popping, people? We got another episode of the Goode Hour, and let's bring our people up. What's popping with you, Sean?
What's going on, Terrence?
Nothing much. Another day, another dollar. And of course, we got Mr. Good himself, TD. What's popping with ya?
Yes, sir, bro. What's going on? YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and we back again with another live show from the Goode Hour. Let's go. It's fantasy football time, guys. Let's do the content. Let's go.
I heard somebody got signed. I heard finally they connected the dots, and Rodgers finally signed with the Steelers. How y'all feeling about that, fellas?
Hey, I feel the same way I felt about that all offseason. Big mistake by the Steelers going with him. I don't think he's got anything left. It didn't look like it in that Jets the second season. He had that one good game to end it just to kind of get one more kind of payday. But I don't know if he's in it for the passion anymore to truly win it. He's just kind of in it for the paycheck. I don't like it for Steelers fans personally. I'd rather see Will Howard out there and let's see what he can do. He's led a championship team before.
TD.
Right. I think he's just a bridge. I think he's one of the best bridge quarterbacks out there. If they wanted to wait, they didn't want to go with Justin Fields. I understand. I'm not saying I agree with it, but if they wanted to wait, that's okay. I think Aaron Rodgers is a great bridge quarterback. They could go to the AFC Championship. It is the Steelers. They do have a good defense. They do got a nice little nucleus there. Aaron Rodgers, all you need him to do is just to make a couple throws. So I don't think you get Aaron Rodgers. We're going to win a Super Bowl and we got the best team. That's not what they're doing. But I thought they could get a discount with him by not committing to a young rookie and bringing Aaron Rodgers in as a bridge and then be able to reassess after this year.
They've been reassessing for years since Big Ben's left.
Exactly what they've been doing. They got rid of Kenny Pickett too soon.
Yeah, and they pissed off Justin Fields by benching him at 5-2.
Yeah,
I think they were
4-2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they still benched him with the winning record, and then put Russ in there, and then obviously he fell apart. Like we all knew that he would. He's washed too. But
Russell, last name Wilson.
Yeah, they should have took Shador, if not in the first round, that third round when he was still sitting
there. That makes no damn sense.
They would have got their guy in the first and had a first round talent in the third. And then they let the Browns get him in the fifth because they passed some in the fourth too. So
right,
it just blew my mind that they just passed on him time after time again.
Right, guys, make sure you get the likes up. Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 8 people in here. We need to have 8 likes. Let's go.
I'm curious how the Steelers fans feel about them passing on Shador. Is it?
They can't regret it, man. If they regret it, everybody needs to be fired. Because if you made that decision, you got to ride with that out. You can't regret it now.
I'm just
if they regret it now, what the hell was they doing?
That's what
I think he's talking Steelers fans, not so much the organization.
You as a fan, though, like how the Steelers fan feel that they did that, because you saw how I took it as a Saints fan. Like we done, we finito. Y'all not that good of an organization. Like we don't have the history as the Steelers. Y'all doing BS moves like that. At least as a Steelers fan, I can trust the front office. I can trust the coach. Like I got some foundation to stand on. So
right.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust that organization too much anymore because they've had this quarterback issue for how long now? They should have had somebody there. They should have gave Kenny Pickett more of a shot, not run in all these vets because he never really got a shot. If Matt Canada was the issue, that's the first offensive coordinator you fired in the term of your coaching career in mid-season. You obviously know that he was the issue. Pickett gets hurt. Mason comes in. I get you ride that hot hand into the playoffs. You got to see how far that takes you. Didn't take them very far, but the next year you got to come back with Kenny Pickett thinking he's the guy still.
You do. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I did feel like they cut Kenny Pickett kind of fast.
Yeah, that's why Kenny's pissed off, and everybody want to say he's a bad player. He didn't want to dress out the last game. I wouldn't have dressed out either, man. Bro, like sometimes, man, I don't know what to say, but people, if I get disrespected, I don't give a damn a job or whatever. I'm not going to go out and do what I'm supposed to do because I'm a human. I got rights in America. So you're not going to disrespect me and think I'm going to walk out there and you're going to bench me the last damn game. Y'all haven't even groomed me the correct way. Y'all haven't had good quarterback coaching. Oh, hell no. You ain't going to try to make my career be a bad career by saying he got benched. Now I got to get lowballed on the market. Fuck that. I just thought that was a bad move.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like, and the one time that Kenny Pickett was, every time he looked good was when he checked the play at the line and he called his own play, and it would lead to a touchdown or a first down. And Matt Canada would get pissed off and mad at him instead of being ecstatic that he got a touchdown. Like that one touchdown to Pickett, right? Like when he's throwing down the papers, all mad that he changed the play. What are you mad for? It led to a touchdown. Like, what are you doing to this young man's confidence right now? Like that's just not the Steeler way, right? Like,
no.
It just drives me nuts. But we also have Rashad Bateman signed an extension contract for 3 years at roughly $12 million a year.
Right. I think it was a great deal. The reason why people like, well, that's a lot of money. Well, listen, if you let Rashad Bateman get to free agents, somebody gonna give him 35, 40 million. That's easy money for a market for a wide receiver. But you sign him now, you don't have to give him market value, and he feels good about that because he hasn't really put up a lot of stats. So Baltimore is really good by holding you back, kind of like, and I hate to use this, but kind of like P. Diddy. P. Diddy will hold his artists back, say he would never have to give them the bag. Except for y'all know the greatest rapper of all time. Not the greatest, but Biggie Smalls. Other than that, the rest of his employees or his artists, they got lowball. And I believe that's what Baltimore does. They never paid Ray Lewis market money. The only person they gave market money was Lamar Jackson in the last 10 to 15 years, and Joe Flacco. Lamar and Joe Flacco was the only guy to get market value from them.
And Lamar had to fight tooth and nail.
He had to fight tooth and nails for it. Flacco had to wait till the last year and win a damn Super Bowl to get it. So Scotty is cheap, right? He wears Dollar General suits. That's how cheap that man is.
Yeah, well, that's why they're rich, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then they've got the 49ers made a trade for Bryce Huff, which I really like. That's finally, they're not really relying now on that rookie that they drafted in the first round to come in and produce. They can put Bryce on the other side of Bosa, but he's got to be all right with Bosa tapping him on the shoulder going, you're on the other side now. Because I'm lining up here because Bosa gets to pick where he lines up, right? So,
right.
As long as he falls into team mentality, I think that'll be a great addition. Like he'll be a nice pickup to an IDP that you can put in a linebacker position for flex.
Right.
What do you guys think about that?
No, I mean, I trust the 49ers. I mean, Huff was a good. How many sacks did he have last year? Didn't he have like 10 sacks?
I think it was 9.
Yeah.
Somewhere around 10 though, but
yeah.
Good, nice addition. But he was like very much a rotational player where when he's coming to the Niners, right, you're going to be like on the field 70 to 80% of the time.
Right. He might not be on rundowns though, right? He might be a pass specialist, pass rusher specialist.
Yeah, that's what typically Salah used him for with the Jets.
Yeah.
But I think you can use him down running downs and stuff too. You just gotta, coach him up if you have to.
Right.
He's been in the league long enough that he should be able to handle more of a workload.
Right.
But yeah, and then I don't know if you guys saw the Cam Scabito thing going around. It was just crazy, man. A video of him on the St. Brown podcast, and they're asking him who players were, and the one they showed him was Calvin Johnson, and he couldn't name Calvin Johnson. Then they showed Darren Sproles was another one. They're like, you just talked about this dude saying he was one of your favorites. And they're like, what? That's not Sproles, is it? Like he didn't even know who all the players were. Like, I don't think he got one correct. It's like, oh my God, man. This guy, now you're just a bowling ball that knows how to run. If you go study the actual history of the game and learn the progression of what the running backs have done over time, could you imagine what he could add into his bag of tricks?
Right. That's not the first young player that I saw that doesn't know his history. These players are young guys. We getting old. They haven't seen Deion Sanders and Barry Sanders and even Darren Sproles. They haven't seen them. These guys are like 19 years old. when they was like born, we were like 20 years old. So they don't know, guys. So I give them a little bit of grace.
Oh, you should still know who freaking Megatron is. That's a pretty
I don't know if
distinct
they
style.
showed them in a jersey or without. Because without, I definitely give them all the.
Megatron was in the jersey, but no helmet on, but didn't show the numbers. Didn't show the numbers though.
I can see it's not like Megatron face stand out like that. You don't have a recognizable face, but if you seen the stature, it's like, oh yeah, you should have knew who that was if you seen the stature.
Right.
But,
yeah, they made it tough on
I don't know how on Sproles look without a helmet. If I see his stature, I don't know who Sproles is without a hammer. I cannot tell you who Sproles is without a helmet.
Man, you got to watch more press conferences, Terrence.
I don't care about
what they all look like.
And
if you want to go watch some old classic press conferences, go Google some or YouTube Clinton Portis press conferences, man. After the games, those are classics.
Yeah, it was too silly for me. I didn't like when he was doing the alter egos. It was too silly for me. But that's Clinton Portis for you.
Oh, it's hilarious though. Like
he had 5 or 6 alter egos.
Yeah, but that's when they were like forcing them to do it too, right? That's when they started forcing you got to do the media. So he's like, then I'm going to do it my way.
Right.
Marshawn Lynch best. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yep, that was classic too. Classic.
You guys want to move on to the Mount Rushmore of all your all-time favorite teams?
Yeah, we might as well do that. Who wants to start it out?
Parents.
All right.
Okay. I keep it short, but I don't have it in particular order. So I'll run down the order of the years. So my first one, and I mentioned this on here. I was in heaven when my favorite 2 players of all time joined forces, and that is Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders. So when they joined forces, got on the same team, and I just thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I didn't. In my mind, there was nothing but a Super Bowl that was going to happen, and of course, that's what happened. So that would be my first team. And then my second team is when Deion said bye-bye and decided to switch teams and went to the Cowboys. I was like, well, they got a lot of talent over there. I think I was still a 49er fan, but I didn't like the fact that Deion, was able to swing the power so much like that. And I was like, well, that team looked pretty talented, so I picked them as my number 2 team. My number 3 team was one of the most exciting teams that I got to watch to play, and that was the greatest show on turf. I think that was the 2000 Rams, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep. 2000 Rams. Yep.
Yeah. So I remember, I'm not mistaken, that might have been in New Orleans. I can't remember correctly. It might have been in New Orleans, but hey, I remember watching that game, and that team was exciting. I love to watch that team. And then my last team, believe it or not, I picked a team that didn't even win the Super Bowl.
I thought I was the only one going to have that. But
because I don't care. Hey, I don't care if they didn't win the Super Bowl. This was one of the greatest teams, if not the greatest team I ever seen. And if they would have took the time to take the break, most likely would have won the Super Bowl. They went for it all, and I'm not mad at it. I love it. They went for it all. If they would have won, hands down, would have been the greatest team ever. You couldn't say nothing about it. It was the biggest. Man went undefeated within the season and went all the way to the Super Bowl. And
they had some Hall of Famers too. They had some Hall of Famers on that team.
They didn't lose by much. It's not like they got blew out or nothing like that. Like the Giants, for some reason, they defense play out of their fucking minds when they decide to play against the Patriots.
Rain Man won that game.
Out of their mind.
Y'all know who I call Rain Man, right?
Who's the Rain Man?
Eli Manning. You ever seen Rain Man the movie?
I've been a while, man. That's a whole movie. Been a while.
So he's special, right? He's touch, right? And so I believe Eli Manning is touch. That's why he always led the league in interceptions, or he won the Super Bowl.
Was that the year? Because that was one year they went like 8-8 and Then all of a sudden ran into
That's
the
it.
Super Bowl. I'm like, what is going on? Like, you just
That's
don't
it.
know.
That's the year they beat the Patriots.
Yep.
I'm like 8-8, and then ran it.
Yeah, you just got to get hot at the right time. That's all it
Right.
takes. And they just got the Patriots number.
Yep.
So those was my 4 teams, but the Patriots. Oh man, it was so fun to watch that year. It was, and Brady getting Moss. It just, hey man, that's what you call poetry in motion right there. They was
Right.
going crazy. So what about you, Sean? What was your 4?
All right, let me call it up here. All right, so my list is pretty close to Terrence's. I've got the 99 Rams, like, greatest show on turf. Took me a while to appreciate this because for me, it was the greatest pain on turf, right? Like, being a Niners fan, I hated watching Kurt Warner. And, like, it took a long time for my friends to realize, like, why the hell do you hate Kurt Warner so much? Because, like, what did he do after he won a Super Bowl with the Rams? He goes to the Giants. He sucks. Comes back to the division to the Cardinals. Goes to the Super Bowl again. I'm like, you can't figure this out. This guy just ripping my heart apart every Sunday that we play him. I'm freaking sick of seeing it. So now that he's done, he can't hurt me anymore. I can put Kurt Warner on this list. That was a spectacular team, and it was an amazing team to watch. I remember watching that Super Bowl that came like right down to the wire. I think that was the one against Tennessee with 1 yard to go, right? Like, it was just, I was at this house party, and there's just me and one other guy, the only ones by the TV watching the Super Bowl. And I'm like, this might have been the greatest Super Bowl of all time, which I think at that time it was.
Right.
Yeah. And then after that, I've also got the 94 San Francisco 49ers with Deion Sanders prime time. It's also one of the Super Bowls I watched with my old man when he was still alive. We just realized we were both 49ers fans before that. First play of the game is a play action pass. They go deep to Jerry Rice down the middle. Done. It's over. 7-0. We're like, everyone, we're at like this.
It was over.
Oh yeah, we're the only 49ers fans at this whole friggin' house party too, which was like a huge one. And it's like, see you later, boys. You might as well just give me your money because the game's over. Not even gonna be close. And it wasn't. They just went on to blow them out.
Yeah.
And then, like Terrence said, it broke my heart when Prime Time left because if he could have stayed, we could have won those next 2 Super Bowls easily instead of the Cowboys. Like, he was the difference maker in those 3 years.
I don't know what Eddie DeBarlo was thinking. Thank you, Eddie DeBarlo. Thank you.
Well, it wasn't that. I could tell you what it was. It's Jerry Rice is like, either he goes or I go.
Jerry's a hater, man. I keep hearing these stories. Why are you hating on Prime Time? I love the competition. Guys, don't you know Shedeur and Brandon Rice don't get along? Did y'all know that? Brandon Rice and Shedeur Sanders don't even get along. That shit is crazy. That's
because Jerry Rice will not allow his kid to talk to him. That's why when Primetime came to Colorado, Brendan was there, and he's like, I'm out of here then. I'm not being coached by him.
Yep.
He's like, they're like arch rivals, and it's because Jerry Rice was such dedicated to his craft that he worked on it. And Prime was just such a natural athlete and he just would show up and do what he needed to do, right? Like, he didn't need to do all this type of practicing and work hard like Jerry did. So they just collided. And it was like the night before the Super Bowl, he was going out partying. They got in a fist fight in the hotel, or something like that, or almost in a fist fight. They got broken up, and it's like, so that's why he left. It wasn't that Eddie couldn't pay him or didn't want to pay him. It's just Eddie had to choose between Jerry Rice, who's a legend 49ers, going to go down in history as the greatest legend of a 49er, or do we do Primetime, who's only been here for a year?
I would have told, this is what I'd have did. I'd have said, Jerry, how much you making? Jerry would have said, I'm making $8-9 million, the highest paid wide receiver in the league. I said, Deion, what you making? I'm the highest paid corner in the league. Then what the hell are y'all talking about? Go out there and win a Super Bowl. I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care.
That wasn't Eddie. Eddie was always the first one in the locker room, greeting people coming in, the whatever, right? He liked that team camaraderie feeling. So if you had 2 guys there, it wouldn't have mattered to Eddie. He wouldn't have wanted to pay them both if there was going to be that tension.
Gotcha.
Not the type of guy he was.
Gotcha.
After that, I'm with you guys. I also got the 2007 Patriots on there. They didn't win, but like, I love that they went for it. Go for it all, man. Like, and they went for it. And you know what? They were better than the 72 Dolphins in my mind, because they had to win more games to get there. Like, if they only had to win 12 games and then 3 games to win a Super Bowl, like, they would have done that easily because they won more games than that. And then after that, I've got the Philadelphia Eagles. I just won it. That is the greatest roster I think I've ever seen assembled from the top down. Like, Shaquan Barkley was the missing piece that they're missing. That when they went out, got Cooper DeJean, Quentin Mitchell. You know what I mean? Last couple of years working on that line with Davis and Carter in the middle. They went and got Zach Bond, who was a nobody, but Fangio knew he could make him into superstar. So it's just like from top down, that roster is one of the greatest rosters I've ever seen assembled. And even in the midseason, I remember talking with Alex Bennett on their podcast. I'm like, I don't see who stops them. If they get hot, I don't see who stops them. They're just too good.
Unless they stopped themselves, then they didn't. Right.
Yeah. And then like if that Super Bowl too with Jalen Hurts when he got pulled with like, I don't know, I forget how much time was left. And he's like going up to the coach, are you sure? And they have to, even the other players have to calm him down. Look at the score, man. We're up. But you know what? I'm with him. He remembers that Super Bowl where the Chiefs just kept the pedal down and it didn't matter, right? So he didn't want to take his foot off their neck. So he kept wanting to go. And I like that. So like he moved up a couple notches in my book. So that's my list.
Okay, so I go to my list. I got a couple teams on there on my list that may surprise y'all. But the first one I'm talking about is the Dolphins. Guys, can y'all give them some respect? They went undefeated. Y'all didn't mention them?
I don't watch them. I didn't watch them.
But they undefeated though. I didn't watch them either.
No, but I think the Patriots team was better. Like when I put the Patriots team against the Dolphins team, I'm taking that Patriots team over the Dolphins team.
Right. But then
can you tell me one player? Can you tell me one player from that Dolphins team?
Yes. Larry Zonka. Mercury Morris.
Okay.
There's a lot of Hall of Famers on that team.
Oh, it better be. I hope it is.
I forgot the quarterback that Greasy. He got hurt, right? But then the backup came in and won the Super Bowl. They had Brian Greasy. Yeah, Brian Greasy. So I just know Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris, because they always was on like talking junk. We don't undefeated team, and they always would drink every year and celebrate.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
I love it because that's why I play sports for, to come back and chop it up. Like right now, my guys that I played in high school, when we get together, we go to Hooters, we drink, we party, we talk about what we did in high school. So every year they get together and they chilling, and they drinking and talk about we are the only undefeated team in history.
I'd be fine with it if it happened at the end of the year. But they do it as soon as that team loses, which means you're cheering somebody else's failure.
Yeah,
like,
I'm okay with
everybody else, like personal records or stuff like that, when they go to be broken, it's like, no, records are made to be broken. I'm cheering them on, and they're going to be up the game, and feel like they're passing the torch to the next guy. Why isn't this team taking on that type of thing when like that Patriots team was in the Super Bowl? They were rooting for the Patriots to lose, not to win, to beat the record and, carry the greatness of the sport on and then bring it to the sport to the next level. No, they were rooting for the sport to go down and stay lower than what it is, and for the Patriots to lose. And that, to me, like I can't put that on my list because I just disagree with that mentality.
I don't know if they're rooting for it to be worse or anything. I mean, it's just a competitive thing.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah, that's what it is, Sean.
The NBA do what you say, and all they do is talk about them.
Yeah.
Oh no, y'all too friendly now. They rooting for it. They want it to be better, but they don't like the friendliness. And the NFL haven't got to that. So.
Right. And I respect it. It's if these guys, they 70, 80 years old. If they need to hold on to that, I'm okay with it. Right. But if it was like young guys, part of the NFL that's in high spots, like far as like the Roger Goodell or somebody like that, I wouldn't like that. But those guys, Larry Zonka just died, man. So if that was his last celebration that he can remember, I'm okay with that. No, it was Larry or was it Mercury? Or they both died. They just both died back to back, didn't they?
They could, but wouldn't they like to see their record be broken by another team?
Yes, I would personally, but I don't mind what they're saying.
I mean them.
Would you say
them, have like somebody else join them? Like I don't know. Like when Tom Brady gets up there, let's say Patrick Mahomes gets up to 7 Super Bowls and he's going for his 8th, and Tom Brady's still alive. Do you think Tom Brady's going to be like, "Oh, I hope I'm still the only one with like 7 Super Bowl wins"?
Publicly, Publicly, no. He would say whatever you need, whatever you need to hear. Because Tom Brady, but believe me, behind closed doors, Tom Brady is one of the biggest competitors ever. He don't want to see nobody touch his record.
Yeah, behind closed doors, that's what I'm saying. That's one thing. If like that's what it would be kind of like after the season. we're still the only, like, you know what I mean? This is the date. Every day after the Super Bowl, we get together. We're the only undefeated team. Let's celebrate. That's one thing. You know what I mean? But
so did you like Tom Brady going up to what's the owner for Patriots?
Kraft,
Robert Kraft, and saying you need to trade Jimmy Garoppolo or I'm not coming back here.
Damn.
At that point in his career, he has that power, right? It worked.
Come on.
I think as a franchise, letting it happen was stupid.
Yeah, but
they gave him that power. He had that power long before that happened.
Right. But like, still, man, like, I'm just going to beat you out of competition. I'm not going to worry about what nobody else, but I get it. I'm not mad at Tom Brady for saying that. I get it, man. I'm not mad at Joe Flacco saying that he's not going to show Shadir how to play the game. I'm not mad at it. I get it. It's very, very competitive.
No, but they're still in the game.
Right.
They're not retired for 50 years later. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's different when you're still in the game. Like, but it's going to be like another 10 years at least before Mahomes can even touch what Brady did anyways to see how he would react. And I think he'd be cheering on Mahomes to break it. Because I think ultimately Brady wants to see the game grow to its max potential.
Okay.
Like, he's always about the game.
Right.
And the history of it. Like, he's a big history buff. But we'll let you continue. We got you way off pattern on your list here. We'll let you continue with it.
Yeah, no, you're fine. My next guy is going to be the Seahawks for the 2013 Seahawks. Guys, you know how many Hall of Famers on that team? It's like 7 or 8 Hall of Famers on that team. You got Bobby. This team can compete with the Steelers defense and the Ravens defense. They got Bobby Wagner, who's still in the game. He's still one of the best middle linebackers in the game. You got Richard Sherman, who was a 4th round pick. You got what's the other guy on the other side? Brandon Browner, who wasn't he was a Pro Bowler, but he was 6'3", 230 pounds playing corner. I thought that was special. You had Cam Chancellor, who played corner in college, got moved to strong safety. It was one of the best, hardest hitting safeties we ever saw. And he could cover. He was the only one that could cover Gronk. He would make Gronk work for it. You got Earl Thomas, who was a Hall of Famer, one of the best free safeties in the game. Then you had Cliff Averill. You had all these guys that was like tread guys, but they could rush the passer. They brought them together. That team blew out Peyton Manning, who had a really good team. They blew him out completely. And then you had Russell Wilson. And that team dominated everybody all year. I think they lost a couple games here and there, but I thought that was one of the most dominant teams that I ever saw as far as defensive wise. And Russell Wilson could make plays when he needed to. My next team, sorry guys, went out. My next team is going to be the 2001 Patriots, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about them. We all know why they was the greatest team. They almost went undefeated. Should have went undefeated. And then I had to give the Bears credit. Nobody was ready for that defense. So these defensive teams to me are probably some of the most best teams ever. I didn't put the Steelers in there. I should have had the Steelers in there, but it's hard.
You should have had the 2002 Ravens in there then.
Yes, and I needed to put them in there too. It's a lot. These defensive teams, they put their imprint on the game, how they dominated. I mean, that Ravens team, they only allowed over 14 points one time. One time, damn. That's why they had to change the game up and let these receivers run around. Because if you had this type of game plan, you weren't going to be able to do nothing on the offensive side of the ball. With Ray Lewis and Peter Boyer and all those guys. Reed in the back. With Rod Woodson.
Yeah,
Rod Woodson, one of the greatest corners and safeties to ever play the game. So, yeah, man, that defense was crazy. But anyway, yeah, so it's the Seahawks, Dolphins, Patriots, and the Bears, the 1985 Bears, Walter Payton.
Yeah, nice. Let us know what you guys think about those lists. Obviously, we all left out the 2002 Ravens. I think Alex had them in his. I think we can. I got Alex's list here because in case he showed up, he had the Rams that we did, the Patriots, 79 Steelers, and the 72 Dolphins.
Okay. Yep, the Steelers, the Dolphins. Yep.
So steel curtain.
Right. I wanted to put the Rams in there too, but they lost to the Patriots next year, and they kind of like, I was nitpicking.
You gotta when it gets up there. You can only pick 4, right? That's what makes it hard. But we can get on debate who we think the top 10 wide receivers are going to be for the season.
Okay.
I already know how this gonna go. It's me, Sean versus TD. Because TD gonna come with totally different stuff. I already know.
I don't do it on purpose, guys. I really believe in my players that I say.
Hey, we got Jimmy Horn in the top 10.
Oh God.
Yes. Hey, make sure that laughing. I want to clip that. So when Jimmy ball out, I want to play this every time. Every time
I don't
Jimmy
think Jimmy. He might have a good season, but he's not touching top 10 numbers.
Speaking of that,
no, I'm not saying that. Hey, even though he went to a high end guy, I finally know who Trey Harris is. Come on, Terrence. That's a high end draft pick, bro.
If you didn't even know, hold up, we did this before the draft. Stop it.
But you know what I was going. I was going through it. I hadn't done my research like that.
We did this before the draft. Stop it.
I would right.
But you found Jimmy Horn, but you couldn't find Trey Harris.
No, because Jimmy Horn was the guy that I had been seeing for the last 2 years in college, so I knew about him. I didn't know about Trey Harris, but it's fine. Trey Harris, whatever. But he's a good pick. He was like Jimmy Horn is a 5th, 6th round pick.
Well, that's what ended up happening. Hey, people didn't think Trey Harris was going to be drafted that high. To be honest,
I win that one. It's not no.
You're not going to win. You might as well take off your shirt right now.
Go ahead and get the taco truck.
But guess what? I'm gonna get Sean. I'm gonna get Sean too. You see what I see below my name?
Terrence.
You see below my name? Yeah. I'm gonna get you too. I'm gonna get you too. Both of y'all gonna be on here with no shirts on. Yeah.
Oh, who do you think's gonna have a better season year one? Judkins or Janty?
Genty.
Duh!
No way.
You know he was gonna pick Genty. Stop playing.
No,
Sampson
I'll take
gonna be pushing
every time.
Jukins. I think Sampson gonna be pushing Jukins. Like it's gonna be Sampson gonna get a nice.
Don't do that. He said he thinks Sampson gonna have a better career than Jukins. That was y'all bet. That's y'all bet.
Yeah, I don't see that.
So we gotta check in each year. We gotta check in each year about that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So who you guys got for number 1 wide receiver overall this year?
Chase.
Yeah.
Chase.
That's who I got too. So we got no debate about that. We got Chase at 1.
We'll have debate about this number 2.
Yeah. Why? Who you got?
I got Lamb.
That's who I got.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I can debate it because I got somebody different, but I'm not mad at y'all for saying that. I got Puka Nacua.
I'm not mad at that.
No, but
because my number 3 is Puka Nacua.
Is it? Mine's Nabbers.
Oh, Neighbors. I'm about to say, I'm like, Nabbers. What?
I got Neighbors, Nabbers.
That's that Canada. But I got CD Lamb.
So
I
said Puka?
JJ as my number 4, but I got Puka as my number 3.
All right. So obviously Puka wins 3. So I got 4. I got JJ, but I have Nabbers above him, or Neighbors, I guess. Who you got?
Elite number 4.
Okay, so let's go. Nabbers is 4. JJ's going to win 5 for us.
Yeah, I got Neighbors at 5.
Yeah, I think those are the top 5 anyways.
And I was debating.
Whatever order you have them.
Debating between JJ and Neighbors is just I seen JJ do it with multiple quarterbacks. So I just was going to give him a bit of doubt that he can do it with McCarthy. McCarthy's not that bad of a quarterback. He's not Jaron Hall. So, I figured he could still be able to go ham.
Right.
I agree. I just don't think he's going to be one of those top guys, right? Where like Neighbors can do all that underneath stuff, or he can do that deep ball stuff with that pretty ball that really the only thing Russ can throw anymore is that deep arch ball, right?
Yeah. He's going to be limited when Dart comes in, so just let you know.
Oh, no way, man. I think Dart's awesome. I love Dart.
As a real quarterback, he's a developmental project. As a fantasy quarterback, I think he's fine, but go ahead.
Well, he's going to chuck it all over. He can make all the throws. I think he'll work out just fine.
He got some doing because I went when I was looking at some Trey Harris film. No, was it Trey? Some Trey Harris film. Yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like, he could have did, I was like, he could be better with a better quarterback. Then that's when I saw more imperfections. When you look at the wide receiver film, you're like, oh, he could have got more yardage on that. If the man would have led him in the right direction, that's when I saw all the imperfections. But go ahead.
Yeah, and what year was that?
Last year.
Everything was from last year that you watched?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I thought he had an awesome year last year. chucking it all over, getting like the both wide receivers, Trey Harris and Watkins, the ball pretty well. I liked everything that he did. But I think our debate starts at 6 here. I've got Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jaguars.
I got Nico Collins.
I got Nico.
All right. Well, I guess I lose out there. So who you guys got at 7?
Brian Thomas.
I got St. Brown.
St. Brown didn't even make my top 10.
He didn't make mine either.
Damn.
He didn't make mine either.
That means I'm super high on the other guy. That's all that means.
No, I just think they're going to get some other options going in there now.
Me too.
Nobody St. Brown could be making it.
I actually, and I know this might sound contradictory, but I actually think Amon-Ra is going to finish as a top 12. But I'm not drafting him as a top 12 wide receiver when he's going as a top 3, top 5 wide receiver in ADP.
And to be honest with you, the funny thing is, even though I got him at 7, when I'm on the clock, I do not pick him.
Right. Because right.
So I mean, I could drop him because I probably would rather get a
running back.
It's a toss up between him and AJ Brown, but I probably would rather London and Thomas over him. Ladd, I don't know. I think Ladd gonna be capped because they want to run the ball. And Trey Harris came. I think he's gonna be capped.
No, I think Harris is just going to be a deep ball threat. Like that bet you made is going to be interesting because the thing with the Jim Harbaugh system, and you can go all the way back to Stafford. He likes to run the ball and he likes to have one wide receiver that's like a little jukey, catchy guy, like Ladd McConkey. He used Michael Crabtree for the 49ers. He used Rome Wilson for Michigan. I forget who the guy was for Stafford, but like you're going to be lucky if Harris sees 3 targets.
Golden Tate.
The bet I made with who?
Good. Harris versus Horn.
Where's Horn at on the depth chart? What are we talking about? Horn need to beat out Coca. That's like the 4th person. I'm not worried about no Horn.
Listen. How you gonna
talk about the bet between the other guy in the group?
So how you gonna go to I would say, I'm trying to think of a second. Who's the second round running back in the rookies class this year?
Judkins.
No, he's not going in the second round, right?
Oh, you mean in that Devin Neal would be
how you gonna compare Devin Neal?
Cam Scabito's another one.
Right. How can you compare Cam Scabito or Devin Neal to
Damian Martinez?
Right. Because that's what you talking about. You talking about Joe?
I'm not.
You talking about Jimmy Horn being way that bro? He got.
I didn't compare him.
I'm not even worried about
the bet. The bet was
where was Antonio Brown drafted?
5th round.
What was he at on the depth chart with the Steelers when he first got there with Mike Wallace and Emmanuel Sanders? What was he at on the draft? He was like number 4 or 5. He was a kick returner.
Yeah, he was 5th.
So that's all I'm trying to say. That's my point. That's all my point. That's it. But we'll see.
It's not gonna happen. Horn ain't Antonio Brown. Not even a pinky. I don't have the pinky amount of talent.
This is gonna be
right
sweet.
Right here.
This is gonna be sweet, bro. If I win, this is gonna be sweet.
And by the way, we are not going off your scoring. We are going fantasy pro scoring because I don't want we going off some simple.
No, we're going off because kickoff return and punt return. We said that early, didn't we, Maximus? That kick return and punt return was gonna matter.
You tried to put that in there.
No, that's what we do.
I said, is that your scoring? Is that what y'all do? Because that's not normal.
You guys agreed under the score in the league you were in.
That's not normal. But at the end of the day, I did say total points, so I'm gonna get you. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna get you.
But yeah, all right. So we're on to 8th here. That's where I've got Scary as my next best one. Scary Terry, I think, is going to have an explosive year where he's finally going to be an actual YR1. You're going to have Debo coming out underneath or on the side doing all this stuff. You can't focus on Scary anymore like you've been able to do throughout his career. So I think he's just going to explode onto the scene where you can still get him cheap this offseason. I would go out. I'm trying to buy him everywhere I can right now.
That man just walked out on practice because he ain't got his contract together.
Who?
Yeah, that doesn't scare me, that stuff.
Okay.
Who, Terry McLaurin?
Yeah,
as he should.
Yeah, so
as he should. But who your number 8 guy, Terrence?
AJ Brown.
Okay, we all got different. I got Tyreek Hill.
I already know you were gonna put Tyreek Hill in. Is Tyreek Hill in your top 10, Sean?
Nope.
He's not in mine. So,
but neither is AJ Brown. So, who would be your next guy on the list?
I got London. Drake London.
I got Lad McConkey.
I've got DJ Moore and then Lad McConkey.
DJ Moore. You got DJ Moore in your top 10, TD?
No.
Okay.
This is where I said the debates come in. So obviously, who do you have after that?
I got Thomas to round up my top 10.
All right. So
Lad
would be 8th.
No, hold up. What Lad on your list?
He's 10th.
Okay, because he just
and I got him 9th.
Okay.
So that would be the next one we agree upon with this debate, because that's where me and Terry both agree.
And then next would be AJ Brown. Me and Terrence got AJ Brown.
Okay, so AJ Brown would be 9.
Yeah.
And then 10, that's when all these other type of guys can come in, right? Like anybody can be 10, really.
Right. I like Terry McLaurin right there.
Yeah, like I think he's gonna explode, man. Like they'll get that contract figured out. There's a reason they went out and got Debo. They know their windows now that Jaden Daniels is ready. This freaking quarterback virtual reality machine is it's impressing me what it's done for Jaden Daniels. Like he does that at time and 3/4 playing the team, that they can input the defenses, so it calls what the defensive coordinator would call from his tendencies, because AI examines all the film that they put into it. And come up with like their tendencies. So they're actually doing game calls and the blitzes are coming, and he's playing this at time and 3/4. So by the time the game actually comes and he's seeing all this, it's super slow to him.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how that guy's career goes. Like I've been watching him since Arizona State.
So London is not in y'all top 10, neither one of y'all?
No. I think he's at YR2, like solid YR2 type of this year. Because like don't forget, Penix only got 5 starts last year, 2 starts.
Right.
Like he didn't get many starts. So this is technically his first year to grow and learn on the fly.
Right.
I know he's older than that, but like I still don't expect him to support a YR1 right off the hop. But then you got Calabu. That's why I have
to even challenge him in targets. Who?
Mooney, Pitts, like, and they got Bijan in the backfield who got 57 targets, 57 catches last year, 52. If I'm remembering right. So I'm not like that. They're going to spread the ball around there. And that's what Penix is good at, is spreading the ball around. That's why they drafted him, was because of how he saw the field. And to go behind Cousins, who also sees the field kind of the same. They just kind of played a little different. So I expect him to still spread that ball around. Mooney's not a slouch. Like he's a good guy to have the perfect guy to have opposite of a guy like Drake London, who just is a possession guy, and then you get your speed guy on the other side. Kyle Pitts is perfect in the middle, but you got to actually call plays for him, like get him involved in the game. Because when Arthur Smith was there, he had a great rookie season because it got him involved to prove that it was worth the draft pick. And then they never really planned into him, and he got, gets himself out of the game because he just doesn't want to compete anymore. Because what's the point? The ball's not coming my way.
Right.
That's how
I think Bijan going to have a big season. I think Bijan get to touch the ball 300 plus times.
Yeah, we was on Bijan for the running backs, top 10 running backs. I think we agreed on Bijan number 1, right?
Was it Bijan?
BS. Oh, you was on that BS. No, I know you picked Barkley. I think you picked Barkley.
I said there's no way Barkley's not going to be the number 1, because I think he goes and tries to break the record this year.
Yeah, and I said I don't see it. Barkley don't seem like, if he didn't go for it last year, I don't think he goes.
He didn't have a Super Bowl ring last year. He's got a Super Bowl ring now.
He talking about retiring. I just don't.
Yeah. And I was trying to trade him in the middle of that news. And then I'm like, why is people lowballing me? And then somebody said, hey, man, do you know they said Barkley's going to retire? I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah, I was trying to trade him yesterday, man. And then all of a sudden somebody said, the news, this is dropped. I'm like, what? Man, that was crazy. So I'm gonna hold him as a depreciation value. I'm gonna ride him till the wheels fall off. Pause.
There's no way he's going to retire.
In 2 years, he could. Why not?
Yeah, in 2 years.
Yeah, that's what he said. In 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen for sure.
Yeah.
But
he said for sure.
Well, you know what I mean. If he's saying it, I could see it. Like 2 years.
I heard once you start putting that in the air, it's downhill from there. If you even put that in the air, it's downhill. Like it start getting harder and harder. They get out there during the off season when you start putting that retirement talk in the air.
Did you see that clip I sent you, Terrence, in the group chat? about the other clip from Barkley when he was getting pulled up? From the
I didn't watch it, but I've seen all the clips already. I know, how it looked with the thing, but at the end of the day, I mean, he was recreating what he did in real life.
Oh yeah,
I
even saw a clip too where he said they asked him what the hardest hit he ever took was, and he said actually it was on that hit that I took where I jumped backwards. If you look at that play and the defensive guy, he hit me like so hard right in the balls, you could see me pulling it away. He's like, that's the hardest I ever been hit. Like he took himself. I remember him taking himself out of the play, but for the next play. But so that was the hardest he'd ever been hit. It was impressive even doing that in the game, but like he could have done that again for a little thing like that. Just tell the guy, come to tackle him, go get low. He doesn't need no friggin' harness. But yeah, so 10 we can have like anybody there really.
Right.
I like Marvin Harrison out there as well. Rashid Rice, if he comes back on that knee properly.
Right.
Because he's got that. We'll see that what the knee can do, but like before he got hurt, he had that speed where Kelsey kind of lost, and you knew how to find that zone because he'd been shadowing Kelsey and Mahomes around like a puppy dog for so long, so he kind of knows the system. And I also like Garrett Wilson as maybe a surprise jump in because Justin Fields gets like hyper focused on one guy and just wants to focus in on him, and it's like one target will get peppered the whole season, and that's going to be Garrett Wilson because why wouldn't you? He's the best route runner in the league.
I feel more confident about Garrett Wilson than I do your pick with DJ Moore. So
no way Garrett Wilson is the best route runner in the league.
Yeah, I don't. I
didn't. I think he is.
I didn't sit there and try to entertain that.
I think he is.
You could make an argument for Puka Nacua to be that. I'm not sitting there.
Nah. I got Jamar Chase, and then for me personally, it goes Garrett Wilson. I love Garrett Wilson.
Jamar ain't even a top route runner in the league.
Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, like those guys.
Yeah,
that's what you start with.
No, Puka's not that great of a route runner. He's just got that amazing body work that he can do.
Who? Justin?
Puka.
Yeah, Puka. I don't think Puka. I agree with that. I don't
think
Puka
polished.
Is a great route
runner. He runs
runner.
okay routes, but it's his body movement that fools the defender a lot. Like I wouldn't even say like Jerry Rice when you watch him, it's like, yeah, he runs nice routes, but it's more his body movement on those routes that fools the defender.
Right. Let me see who I'll say like, one of the best.
JSN's a crisp route runner.
JSN. I would say Amon-Ra St. Brown and Keenan Allen if he's playing. Keenan Allen. I would say Keenan Allen probably the better route runner than any of these top guys that we mentioned.
Not right now, though.
Yeah, you right now. Right now.
He doesn't even have a team.
Yeah, that don't mean anything. Did you go watch him last year? This dude still can run routes. It doesn't cause you running routes doesn't mean that you're going to be great for a team.
I could run routes at half speed too.
Not like Keenan Allen. Not like Keenan Allen can. Not like Keenan Allen. Allen. It's a couple other guys. There's some other lower tier guys that great route runners, but they're not the alpha on their team.
What about Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp, that's another one. There you go. I agree. He's up there. He's top 3.
That's who cooked.
Like it. Who?
He cooked. That's who cooked.
But he can still run routes.
You know, I'd probably rather Keenan Allen running routes than Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but that's who we think for the top 10. We can get the comments if there's any good.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna get to the members first, guys. I appreciate y'all being a member. Doomsday, what up, bruh? What's going on with you? We got D-Lion in the house. I say D-Lion in the house. He says, I don't mind us passing on Sanders round 1, but after round 3 and 4 and 5. This is what I was saying. Why are you okay with passing Sanders on round 1? I want to hold people accountable that think that he's not a top pick. I don't see how you why you like Brock Purdy, and this is not a shot at you, Sean, so stay out of this. But why do you uplift Brock Purdy being the last pick, and then you talking about Shadur, he's not that good? Come on, man, get the hell out of here with that. I don't get it. Shadur is you don't take him in round 1, and you got guys like Daniel Jones, and I like Daniel Jones, but you got guys like Daniel Jones being drafted round 1. You got Anthony Richardson being drafted round 1. You got Tebow being drafted round 1. And Shadur Sanders is not a round 1 pick.
Yeah, I just thought that was retarded myself. But
D-Lion says Kenny left. He wanted out. He didn't want to compete against Russ. He was cut. Matt
it's kind of
Canada
that, but
career.
it's not. Because at the same time, he never got a fair chance to even have the shot. And they were taking it away from him before he even got it. That's what I was talking about. They let Canada go mid-season. Well, then you still never gave Kenny Pickett a shot with a legit offensive coordinator that you thought that you could probably work with. Instead, you're like, no, we're going to make them compete and bring in all these quarterbacks. So you might have had your answer to your quarterback already had you not fucked them over and brought in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
Come on. And I say to this, if you say, well, they didn't want him. Well, guess who didn't want Steve Young? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guess what? They dropped the bag because he went to San Fran and became a Hall of Famer. So you got to be a quarterbacks, man. It's a thin walk. Like you got to be careful how you treat these quarterbacks because you can ruin their mentality. I know you remember this, Sean. I never forget this. This is when I learned a lot about coaching. When Jim Harbaugh got hired for the San Francisco 49ers in that interview where the press conference, you know what he said? He said he pointed to a guy. He said, y'all see that guy right there? Y'all see that guy? That's the best quarterback in the NFL. Guess who he's talking about? Alex Smith. Alex Smith wasn't the best quarterback in the league, but he needed to psych him out.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what he's doing with Justin Herbert, too, right?
And it changed the trajectory of his career. Am I wrong or right, Sean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Look at Justin Herbert, what he's doing with him.
Exactly.
Look what he did with Andrew Luck.
Right, come on now.
Look what he did with J.J. McCarthy. It's like these guys have this attitude with them now that they can carry into the league. Come on, Shador has that from his dad.
Come on.
So if that's all I care about with quarterback is, are you a goddamn winner? I don't care what your athletic ability is. Can you throw the ball? Can you make all the necessary throws? Is your arm big enough? Yep. But are you smart? Are you going to make the right decisions when the time comes? Are you going to be good under pressure in clutch times when we need it? That's one thing that's coming out of Tennessee's camp right now is they had to play whatever, and Ward checked at the line because they're said in this practice you can check at the line. He made the right call, got the touchdown, and they gave the referee that they hired a wink to call a bad play, and he called a bad play, bad penalty call, had to come back, do it again, 5 yards back. Ward, I guess, lost it. Went, okay, back in the huddle, let's do this again. Same thing, play at the line, check to something else. Got a touchdown again. They gave the ref a wink again. The ref called another bad play. Ward lost his mind, went back to it again, kind of looked at the coaches, and then called some play. He didn't even listen to them on the headset. He just come out and went to his own play after looking at the coaches. Scored another touchdown. They called another bad play, and then they kind of ended the practice there, right? Because they had those 3 plays, and those 3 plays, I guess, took 12 minutes from the start of the one to the next because they let them get their breaks. But those coaches said we learned more in those 10 minutes than we could have through any type of process of anything else. So just checking at the mentality of the quarterback, seeing how he can do it. And Ward's gone up a little bit in my books just from that too.
It's called moxie.
Yeah,
it's called moxie. Doomsday says Kenny Pickett has a second chance in Cleveland. No, the hell he don't. I don't think so. Doomsday.
Look, you won't respect Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
He is a Super Bowl champion, right? And guess what? Sean is a Super Bowl champion too. San Francisco won. They won some championships too. So Maximus is a Super Bowl champion. Show us you. You a Super Bowl champion.
On the team. You was on the team, Maximus. You was suited up.
Yeah, I always do.
Just as much as Kenny Pickett was.
I always wear my jersey in the game, man. So I'm playing.
On now.
I spent my money. I gave that franchise money to put that team together.
Cratch, what's up, bro? He says, I hope Huff, Doomsday said, I hope Huff is better for you 49ers than he was for the Eagles.
I think he just will be naturally because he's going to get more play time. And he's back with Salah, who's got a new defensive scheme that he's introducing.
People talking shit about Salah. Salah was a good coach. They fired him because Aaron Rodgers contaminated that damn franchise. Salah was killing it. Salah was a top-ranked coach, and then Aaron Rodgers get there, and all of a sudden he ain't shit. Get out of here. Salah is good, man. If I was team, if I was Jerry Jones, I would have hired Salah. I would have gave Salah the highest paid deal. Come in here and coach this defense and turn Michael Parsons out. That's what I did. Why was Salah nasty?
The Jets were the 30th worst defense in the league, and then Salah had them, and when he left, they're the 5th best defense in the league. So he knows what he's doing on defense, and he was just starting to learn the offense. So he was going in because he's like, I got my defense where I need it now. And he was just starting to go into meetings and that with Aaron Rodgers, probably trying to see what the hell's going on too on that offensive side of the ball, right? Because he always said if the offense can get their shit together, we're going to be pretty good. Because the defensive side of the ball, we're solid. And he that was maybe his problem, right? He waited too late to try to take control of the offense, and he was always just trying to get the keys to somebody.
Right. So first of all, I got two things to say real quick. So first of all, just like when Sean McVay got hired, you have to go when you got a young coach, you got to go get the other coordinator. They got to be great. They got to be great because he needs time to learn. So actually, the co-head coach was Wade Phillips. Wade helped Sean McVay. Now, Sean McVay had a great offensive mind, but Wade knew this is what we need to do. This is how you talk to the players, and that's what Robert Saleh needed. He needed a great offensive coordinator that's been in the game for about 10 or 12 years. That way he wouldn't have had to take control of that. He could have left that alone. But another thing, did y'all ever watch this? And I told my homeboy when I saw this, Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown one game, came to the sideline. Robert we about to win this game. He tried to hug Aaron. He pushed this him. Is when I stopped. I was like, Aaron, come on, man. Listen, I get it. I'm my own man, but I would never ever treat my coach like this unless I do not like him. Robert came to hug him, and Aaron said, "Hold up," and then just walked around him. I said, "Bro," I said, somebody about to get fired." I said it immediately. I knew it. I'm like,
he said something too, though.
What did he say? Yeah, what did he say?
Oh, I can't remember right now.
He said, "Chill the fuck out," right? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or you like that?
We ain't get enough yet. Bro, he just trying to give you a hug. Good job. Damn. You worse than my ex is. Damn.
Oh, my God.
Okay, D-Line says Marshawn Lynch is the best. He's talking about at the press conference. I'm just only here to say I don't get fined.
Yeah, I used to love when Marshawn did that. And they'd always continue asking.
Y'all know why he did that, right? Don't you know what they did to him in Buffalo, right? They tried to suck his intelligence, and he never wanted to talk to the media again. They said that he don't know how to talk. He talked like he's a hoodlum, and so he never talked to the media after that.
God, it's just like where he's from, right?
Right. Come on, that's a lot of people don't. A lot of people have low IQs. I know at my job, man, we have a lot of Indian people. They really good in IT, and you can't understand what they're saying, but they know their shit. They know their shit. So you never judge anybody off of how they communicate. You judge them by their mentality. A lot of people don't understand that.
I'll tell you, when I went to Scotland with the kids, and we were in Glasgow, and I was like, "Oh, there's a laser tag. Let's go there." And I know this guy was speaking English to me, but he had the thickest Scottish accent, and I just kept laughing. I'm going, "Sorry, man, it's not you, it's me." But I have no clue what you're saying. Right? And the kids are like, "You don't understand?" I'm like, "You do? Then you talk to him because I don't."
Right. Any given Sunday, I guess he's saying, what was he talking about? Somebody can win any given Sunday. I forgot what we was talking about.
Probably.
We lucky. What's going on, bro? He says, "Man, I totally agree with all your selections." He's talking about Terrence.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
He says, "I know they had Bob Greasy, Paul Warford, and Jim Kick with no name defense and a great Don Shula." Right. That's that 1972 Dolphins team, I think.
Yep.
Our Lucky says Brady is the GOAT and proved to Kraft he was who was more important to the New England dynasty. Yeah, but it wasn't. But the point is, Tom Brady was going to start, but you needed that quarterback to come in after Tom Brady retired or chose to move on. And Tom Brady's like, I don't want that competition anymore here because Bill is acting weird on me now. That's what kind of happened. We all knew Tom Brady was nice. I didn't want Tom Brady to be benched, but I don't think they should have moved Jimmy Garoppolo as soon as they did.
Well, I think the problem, too, was they were shopping secretly Tom Brady around. And Tom got wind of that because Bill thought he was done. And so that's when Tom went to Kraft and said, "I'm going to play another 10 years. You don't want to get rid of me yet. And Bill wants to replace me, so you got to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo." And then that's the only time that Robert Kraft override Bill Belichick in any of his football decisions.
As he should have. Yeah. That's why I love Jerry. Jerry would get rid of Jimmy for his decision. So I love Jerry. Jerry's one of my favorite owners, man, because why? He don't give a damn. He going to beat to his own drum, and I respect that. I don't have to agree with you. I like to see you beat to your own drum. Same thing with you, Maximus. When I first met you on I always forget the name of the platform.
Clubhouse.
But I'm like, who's this guy from Canada talking about this sleeper running back, Jordan Mason? Who the hell is that? Who is Jordan Mason? I'm not drafting no damn Jordan Mason. And he started balling. I'm like, okay, this guy beat to his own drum. So that's what it's about, man. It's about beating to your own drum. What's up, Travis Looney? What's up, bruh? R. Lucky says Earl Thomas, Percy Harvin, Legion on the Boom, secondary, and the Ravens defense was special. Also, love the greatest show on turf offense. Yes, those are all greats, top 5 greats that they're in their on the offense and defensive side. I agree with that. R. Lucky says nice pickup for both squads, hit or miss receivers. Yes. R. Lucky says Junkins. He liked Junkins as a rookie running back. Travis Looney says Lamb, Chase, and Jefferson. Those are his top 3 wide receivers. I don't really have nothing to say too much about that. I think they are top guys.
Yeah, I think that top 5's the top 5. You could just switch the pieces depending on who you are.
Right.
But I think everybody at the end comes out with the same top 5.
Right. All like it says, not no pure slot in the top 10. I disagree. Wes Welker was. He was a top 5 wide receiver, and he played the slot.
Yeah, when they had no outside guys.
Amon-Ra was a slot wide receiver. All like he says, Pitts has to finally put it together, and I don't know if that's going to happen. I think he needs a new place to go. Kind of like I need a new woman to go to. So does Kyle Pitts. I got to take my shots, guys. I can't take them in real life, so I got to take them on my YouTube channel.
I'm on Pitts this year, though. As a late round tight end,
he's already hurt. I was on him too until he got hurt.
What he hurt? What happened?
What happened to Maxim? You ain't seen it? He already got hurt in camp. They said they asked the coach, he won't disclose it. That scares me.
I've been taking him in best ball, but hey,
that just means it could be personal too.
Yeah, if he hurt by the time of the season, I ain't taking no hurt players when the season starts, but I've been taking them in best ball.
Yeah,
Sean T, what's up, bro? Glad to see you here. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Appreciate you being here, bro, on the Goode Hour. Sean T says top 10 wide receivers: 1 Chase, Jefferson, Lamb, Neighbors, Puka, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Nico Collins, Brian Thomas, Lad McConkey. I can't say nothing about that list. It's a little different than mine. I love the list though.
Yeah, I think the debates start at 6 for majority. We just happen to have 3 people we can kind of find a consensus.
Right. He swapped Puka and Neighbors and Jefferson around in the beginning. That's the 2 guys he got different. Saquon, what's going on, R. Lucky? He's hopefully that Ohio State connection puts up dividends. Talking about Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields.
Have you seen the weird connection with the Carolina Panthers too?
What's going on?
So, in 2002, Ohio State Buckeyes won the championship. That year, the Carolina Panthers had a losing record. That offseason, Jennifer Lopez applied for a divorce from her first husband. The next year, Carolina Panthers come out of nowhere, win the Super Bowl. Then,
go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 2014, Ohio State won the championship. That offseason, Carolina had a losing record that season too. That offseason, Jennifer Lopez got a divorce from Ben Affleck, or that's the one she's doing now or whatever. And then that next year, they come out of nowhere and won a Super Bowl. And then this year, Ohio won the championship. Carolina had a losing record. And going this off season, Jennifer Lopez just applied for a divorce from her third husband.
Right. So that's a little.
Then when you look at those colors for the Super Bowl logo, everybody's trying to put the Lions into it because of the blue and the black because of that jersey. But who has blue and black naturally? The Panthers.
Right. I love the Panthers. Y'all know I'm a Chuba Hubbard fan.
Oh, I know you love the Panthers. You had never said. I never heard you say it on stream. But every time you mention you get a chance, you mention the Panther player.
No, not really. Not
before Chuba Hubbard, man. Every time you get Bryce Young, every time you get a chance,
and they are new.
Jimmy Horn. Every time you get a chance,
those guys are new, man. Those guys are new. Jimmy Horn went there, so that's why I like talk about him now. Chuba balled out. You know, I'm like, damn, I got to give him some respect. So I saw how Chuba balled last year. I think he's going to be a top 5 running back. And Bryce Young, man, he was great coming out of Alabama. I thought he was going to be better than C.J. Stroud, and I thought I was terribly wrong. And then I'm actually going back. I'm like, you know what? He could be. So it's just all about the players, man. I'm not a Carolina fan. And the Cowboys, that's a little bit different.
No, you said Steve Smith. You put him over with Megatron. I don't know.
I'm doing what Maximus always does. That's just my guy. It's just my guy. It's just I love Steve Smith as a player.
Your Mount Rushmore could be whoever the hell you want it to be.
Right. Like you said, that's going to be one of the biggest steals in the NFL history for my Cleveland Browns. It will be getting Shedeur late. I agree with that.
We'll see.
Like you said, exactly. And Bill Walsh was smart enough to put him in the same quarterback room as Montana. Yes, sir. Iron sharp as iron. Hey, bro, Lucky, you know your football, don't you, bro?
Yeah, well, like Bill Walsh too, he like had them compete against each other. He
Right.
did seasons where Joe would do a drive, and then the next drive Steve would come out.
Right. And Joe did not talk to no Steve Young.
Nope.
Until they was retired.
Years after.
Years. Joe Montana said he looked all nice. Hey guys. Going to you, Maximus. Tom Brady. Hey guys. And then
they lied to him too.
Talking shit.
They lied to Steve Young just to get him to sign. They told him that they thought the shoulder would make him be washed.
Right.
And then Steve Young said, "I'm watching that first practice. I look at Bill Walsh, and like, this guy isn't washed. Look at him throwing the ball. Look at the zip on that. What are you talking about?"
Right. He lied to you. He just wanted to get you there.
Yep, pretty much. Walsh just went. I didn't think he would have it.
Right. James said, "What's going on, James? Appreciate you being here, bruh. Cutting edge content here. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe." A.J. Brown is drastically underrated wide receiver. Few wide receivers are relied on upon like A.J. Brown that if a play breaks down, just throw it up to A.J. That was literally a play for the Eagles in 2023. Yeah.
Yeah, that's football-wise. Fantasy-wise, he's a YR2 that's going to have YR1 numbers.
There you go. He is a Hall of Famer. And I said that
I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the game, but fantasy-wise, he's just not in that top 10 because they've got too many mouths to feed.
There you go.
They were really leaning heavily on the run. I expect them to do that again this year and use A.J. Brown only when they need him.
I agree because he's also a little injury prone. He get nicked up a little bit in the middle of the season
because he plays rough.
Yes. James says fantasy is different though. Yeah, fantasy is different. Like guys can be good in fantasy and not good in real life, kind of like AR-15. Travis Looney in the building, bro. Appreciate you always showing support, bro. Destroy y'all. He says Ladd is so overhyped, but top 10 is wild. Bro, how is he overhyped? Because you look at it. Tell me one thing about Ladd that makes him overhyped. Because you want to talk about athletic ability. Guess what I'm about to tell y'all? He just as athletic as Jamar Chase. Look at the numbers. Don't take my word. It's what the Reading Rainbow say. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the numbers. Ladd can jump out the gym. He got a 40-inch vertical. He fast. He ran a 4.4. What did Jamar wearing like a low 4.4? He got great hands, and he was really good at Georgia. His injuries is what have pulled Ladd down a little bit coming out of college. But you look at Ladd can play. If he's healthy, he's one of the best wide receivers in the game. That's just me. He's not better than Jamar, but I just said his ability is compared to Jamar.
You got to realize guys coming out of Georgia too, like they're a team where you come to Georgia, you sign with Georgia, you're getting play time. Everybody gets equal play time. So that was against Ladd too, right? So like even when he was playing, he was only on the field 25% of the time because they rotate everybody through that.
Right. Go ahead, Terrence. Tell me something.
I didn't put him in my top 10 because he was dealing with injuries last season. I don't know if he's that guy that's gonna, play the whole season. So that's
there you go. That's true. That's a good point. But his ability, how you feel about his ability, Terrence?
Oh no, he earned my work gloves badge. So anybody that earned that badge, can play. Guess who also earned my work gloves badge?
Jimmy Horn,
Trey Harris. So
Destroy Y'all says Chubb top 5. Hey, that's a great cutting edge content. I mean, statement, bro. Nah, Chubb, it's over for Chubb. Oh, Chuba? You talking about Chuba?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuba is top 5. Oh, he laughing at that? That's another victory that's going to be good. Chuba is nasty. Y'all don't think Chuba that good? What you think, Maximus?
Oh, I think he's top 10. I don't know about top 5.
Okay. What do you think, Terrence?
I feel the same way about Maximus. I think he's good. I mean, if they run him, like I think he's good. Like I said, I thought he was good coming out. I was surprised he didn't get the draft capital coming out. I thought he was good in college. So I mean, it was kind of like the situation that happened with Ali Gordon. I thought Ali Gordon was good and he didn't get the draft capital. So
right. But same thing happened to Chuba and Ollie Gordon's. They had like that last bad year, and it knocked the draft stock down. That's a great comparison, bro.
Well,
Ollie Gordon.
You also got to look. If you look at Chuba Hubbard too, he had that great year. Black Lives Matter happened with George Floyd. He got really involved with all that social media stuff. And then when he stopped it was last off season. He got away from it and focused on football. And then look what he did last year.
Come on now.
So as long as he puts that like social stuff away, do that stuff after your football career and make a name for yourself first. That's too many guys try to like build their brand before even getting a brand.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you now, Terrence, you sent me Oswald Likely. Please send me a trade with Chuba. I'll give you what you want. If you want a first round pick for Chuba, I'll give it to you.
I got Chuba on my team. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, now you don't want to do it.
No, do I have Chuba on my team? I'm asking you. I got Chuba.
I don't think you do.
Oh, I don't know if you got Chuba now.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Okay. Would you gonna trade him to me?
Oh yeah.
I just traded you Shepard in that
league.
league.
Pay though. You gonna definitely have to pay.
Yeah, I'm paying the first. I'm not giving you more than the first.
You gonna pay the premium. You gonna pay
a first.
Game buster.
a first.
I don't want your first. I don't want your first.
You don't want my first?
Your first was at the late end of the round. I don't want that first.
Right. It might be different next year. Our Lucky says real alpha number 1 wideout should be in the top 10, not no dang slot machines. I disagree. Amon-Ra is what position did Amon-Ra come in the NFL and play into like they started doing a bunch of different stuff? Amon-Ra was a slot wide receiver.
Still is.
Yeah, still is. But they do line him up on the outside now because he's dynamic, right? So they can do that now.
Well, because he doesn't let anybody else practice.
Right.
He hogs the whole practice field. No, I want to run that again. And like after 20 times, they're like, okay, that's enough. You got to let every people try this.
Right. He said, yeah, bro. I think he's talking about Chuba or something, or Lad. So he says, I'm taking Drake London. I'm not drafting. Man, I drafted Drake London like 3 years ago. I'm done with drafting Drake London.
Hey, you was too early. You was too early. See, you know the person. When that type of player, you gotta let them prime and get ready, and not starting the show. That's why I'm telling people, hey, stay away from McMillan. What's the rookie?
Huh?
Tech.
Oh, you talking about Ibuka?
No, McMillan. Tech McMillan. Hey man, he one of them players. It gonna take them a few years to get to going. You know what I'm saying? Unless they just funnel him all the targets this year, it's gonna take him a while to get to going. So I'm not drafting him. I'll wait 2-3 years and then I'll go
trade for him cheap.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're gonna have to bid out Jimmy Horn, and that's gonna be tough.
Boy, stop. That boy don't got no badges. Stop playing. I ain't ever gonna bet on a player with no badges.
You will give him badges before the season over. You're gonna come in around and say, hey, TD, I did make a badge for him, man.
He's a player with no badges. That means he don't got no chance. Ooh.
Well, he's gonna have 10 badges after he beats Harris.
Come on now. Our Lucky says, really, man, you going to down that hill, even if you ask Harbor, he's taking Chase. No question. What are you talking about?
I don't
know. Chase,
I think he compares Ladd's numbers to Chase. So he was trying to thought you said Ladd was better than Chase.
Yeah, I did not say that.
Look, he won't do that.
I ain't do that. But I think their athletic ability is the same. That's showing you that's why I got you. Because you didn't know that, did you? That's why you saying you going with Chase. Ladd, bro, go look at his numbers. Go back to 2024 combine and look at the numbers and then compare it to Jamar Chase numbers. Not receiving yards, combine numbers.
No, I remember Ladd being fast. I can't remember.
And can jump out the gym.
I can't remember if he did the
and he like 200 pounds.
But yeah, he had some good numbers. Ran a 4.39.
Come on now.
The 36 vertical, broad 124.
124.
So
look at Jamar's.
What year he came out? The 20? Come on.
Was it 22 or 21?
21, I think.
21.
21.
21, Jamar.
It's going to be pro day.
4.34. Short shuttle under 4 seconds. Good God. Vertical 41. Oh, my God. This man a monster. He's a monster.
Right. But Ladd ain't too far from there.
Oh, God.
Pretty far.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. 34. That's some elite numbers.
Guys,
elite numbers I've seen.
When you're doing the cone in under 4 seconds and
that's the most elite numbers I've ever seen.
What did Ladd do the cone drill in? Did he do the cone drill?
He didn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you named the 40 time in the vertical, right?
I still named 3 things. He was elite in everything he did.
Right. But
yeah, he had to be.
You're missing the point. I said his numbers is comparable.
No, Ladd is definitely. I mean, I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not saying it was going to be better. I'm just saying they're comparable.
Ladd is like 95% down. He's 100% on. Like that's the difference. He's like.
Right. If I'm close to Randy Moss, I'm taking it. I might not be 6'4", I might be 6'2", but I'm still tall, right?
You want to know what the difference is? The difference is, yeah, Ladd's great, but Chase is great amongst the greats.
What you mean great amongst the greats? What you mean by that?
Like, Ladd is great. Yeah, okay. Put him in a room of greats. Who's going to stand out in that room of greatness? Chase is going to come above that.
But this is what I'm saying. There's guys that only played 1 year in the NFL that may be more athletic than Michael Irvin. That's my point. I'm not saying like Michael Irvin is great of greats, but I'm just talking about athletic ability because a lot of people don't know. They look at that lad as a white boy. That's my point. And I'm trying to tell you, this guy's actually really athletic. That's why he was drafted. I'm not trying to say that he got the same thing built as Jamar Chase. Hell no, he's not Jamar Chase. But I'm just saying his ability is higher than what people think. He's probably one of the best athletic white boy wide receivers to ever come to the NFL. That's my point. That's all.
He's nice. And that's not no question. He's nice.
Destroyed Out says, I hope you are right, but that's a reach. Let me see. All Lucky says, I agree with the Trouba take. Take him up in Brooks in the 26 season is going to nothing short of spectacular in Panthers, having embarrassment of riches in that backfield.
Brooks dead. Brooks dead. Don't mention Brooks. He dead.
With that double knee injury. Destroyed Out said, I like Ladd. I just don't see the upside. Okay, especially because they just added another wide receiver. I get that. I respect that, but I can't wait till the season comes.
That's when you got to understand the systems. That's
what
when
you
got to understand the systems they're in and what they're going to run.
That's true.
Jim only runs through one wide receiver. He's only going to support one. The other guy will be there. Harris is there to stretch the field when they need to open up room for Ladd.
Right. Father 3 says Pat Frymuth just took a hit, in my opinion. A-Rod hasn't produced a top 5 tight end in his career. Just a touchdown option in the red zone. Thoughts? I just think anytime I like Pat Frymuth. I think he's just going to be a solid tight end. I don't mind rolling out with him this year.
With Aaron Rodgers there, I don't even think he's a tight end too fantasy-wise. Like, I think he's a bye-week replacement, injury replacement, whatever, because I agree. Like, Aaron Rodgers, the only one time he had a decent tight end was when Jermichael Finley, his rookie season, he used them, and since then he hasn't used tight ends. But he was also on Green Bay, and he told Green Bay not to draft tight ends, so they never spent that draft capital on it. They did closer to the end of his career, bringing some guys there. And then the Jets never had one, and he said, well, I don't really need one there. So, like, he hasn't really had a tight end since Finley to throw to, but I still don't think he will.
He was top 12.
If this is all the talent, they better bring us some more talent. If this is all the talent, he'll be a top 12 because I'm not depending on Roman Wilson and Kevin, what's his name? Kevin Austin or whatever. I'm not dependent on them.
Calvin Austin.
Yeah, I'm not dependent on them.
What about Tunyon? Tunyon was top 12.
Yeah, he was. I remember picking him up. He was.
Yeah. Then he got hurt. Then that was over for that. Destroyed Out says, what's your thoughts on Ladd's stats this year? I think Ladd could, if he stays healthy, I think Ladd could have 10 receiving touchdowns and about 12 or 1,300 yards.
Yeah, that's about where I got him.
12, about 99 receptions and 1,242 yards.
Yeah, I think he can. I think he have more than 99 catches. I think he have at least 110, 120 catches. I think Justin Herbert's going to throw the ball a little bit more than what he did last year.
I don't think so. I think
which was a shit show because the Keys need tight end, and could have got Brock Bowers.
The Keys?
Who's the Keys?
I don't know.
Oh, the Jets. Look at the next comment.
Okay. And all I can say is, what do you guys think of Cedric Tillman? I love Cedric Tillman, and I like Xavier Leggett. Those are some late round wide receiver 3s that I think can possibly be wide receiver 2s. I like Cedric Tillman. I like Xavier Leggett.
I am.
You know why I like Xavier Leggett? It's not because he hit Carolina, by the way, Terrence.
Really, it's not. Because he ain't do nothing fantasy wise, and he only had one good season in college. So is it not?
Right. Real quick, let me go. Chef, so what's up, y'all? Amazing, beautiful people. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you being here. Stephen Drake's in the building. What's up, Drakes? Ian Taylor, let's go football. Appreciate you being here, Ian. Just a couple guys that I skipped early. All right, that's all. That's everybody.
All right. And before we take off, just like to tell people, next week at this episode, we're going to have a special guest, Regina Wright from She Talk Football, also part of the Undroppables. We're going to have her on for the hour. So we're going to be talking Ravens football and the upcoming season, how that's going to look for them, and probably some past stuff about the Ravens too.
I didn't even know she was with the Undroppables.
Yeah.
Every time I look up, they are picking up a female though.
Cool.
The Undroppables. They're always picking up someone.
Yeah, they trying to be cutting edge. They're trying to get ahead of the curve.
All right. Well, you want to take us away, Terrence?
All right. Y'all don't have nothing else to say before y'all go?
No, I'm good, bro. Cutting edge content. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Be here every Thursday for the Goode Hour. And even during the season, we will be doing starts and sits on the Goode Hour. I don't know what the next half of the show going to be. I don't know what Maximus wants to do, or him and Alex or Terrence. But yes, this is going to be the start and sit show for Thursday. And y'all guys keep tuning in. Guys, hit the like button.
Yeah. And, as usual, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. I'm still doing a rookie profile with the badges, predictive badges. I think dropping tomorrow is my guy, Trey Harris. We probably not going to get to, TD guy because he don't have no badges. So, but anyway, until next time, peace.